Hello, hello, hello. We're live from Oakland, and this is your live streamer, Freeman Sullivan, here at the Mike Brown Vigil, memorializing Mike Brown's murder by Darren Wilson 1 year ago today in Ferguson, Missouri, which sparked off a nationwide series of protests bringing the topic Black Lives Matter to prominence, even though there was lots of other people getting killed by the police. So things haven't started yet. We got kind of a sparse crowd here, maybe 50 people here. Log on to the chat or click on the follow to be notified of my next live stream. And I am live streaming a little more frequently these days as I am feeling better. So sit tight, and we'll be getting started here in just a few minutes. Rather warm out here today in the sun, but a beautiful day nonetheless. We're here at Oakland City Hall at Frankogawa Oscar Grant Plaza. Should we get started? There was a we're here at Oakland City Hall, Frankogawa Oscar Grant Plaza. It's your live streamer, Freeman Sullivan. We're waiting for the event to be started. Sorry for the late. Sorry for being late on getting started. We're waiting for some friends and family members to show up. So stick around. Thanks for all the new people. Let me know how the audio visual looks because sometimes the bandwidth around Oakland City Hall here is wonky. And if you actually get close to the City Hall building and behind where the people are standing, it'll actually go out on you. So it seems like more and more people are showing up. We've got maybe 50 people here so far. Hopefully more people will show up. And if you're in the area, we're conveniently located by 12th Street, Oakland City Center, BART. Most of the other AC transit lines also come through within a few blocks of here that are headed downtown. So do show up. It is a beautiful day. And thanks for watching, though. And we'll be getting started here in a few minutes. For those of you who are just joining us, we're here at Oakland City Hall at Frankogawa Oscar Grant Plaza. And we're getting ready for the speakers to start speaking and for the program to start. It's a beautiful day out here. I don't know if any of you were watching on other live streams. I happened to I caught Revolutionary Z's live stream earlier today, and there must have been at least 10,000 people marching in Ferguson today. That was real heartening to see. What was also much different and contrasted with last year was the fact that there were no tanks out in the streets, or I guess armored cars, not tanks. I guess that's a little bit of sensationalism, but that was good to see, and that the protests did have a real effect, at least cosmetically, in Ferguson. Log on to the chat if you'd like to speak with me, if you have any questions. I always appreciate it when people log on and speak to the chat, or click the follow button if you're on the browser and follow me, and that'll send you an email whenever I go live. So we're waiting for everything to get started here. But there was also a demonstration that I caught that was in New York, where people were getting arrested, And as usual, the New York Police Department was exhibiting bad behavior, as they've been wont to do, and there needs to be way more protest in New York. There needs to be way more protest around the country. There's definitely not enough protesting. Since last year, one thing that has changed since Mike Brown was murdered last year was the fact that police murders have gone up. I mean, the violence against young unarmed black men and women has escalated since the Mike Brown since Mike Brown was murdered. So, we need more people out here. We need more people to show up at these demonstrations, folks. You just can't sit at home hiding and expect things to change. You have to get out there in the streets. And even me hobbling, you know, mobility challenge Clark, even I can get out and make demonstrations. So there's no excuse. You guys got to start coming out and start. It's great that everybody watches on the live stream, but also you have to be here and be at protests in person, and your voice does count. Protesting is the only way us, the powerless, we the powerless, have of changing things. The elections are bought and paid for by and large. So how are people that tell you to vote? It's a big load of shit. Oh yeah, more voting, more voting. That might work on some of the propositions and things like that, but basically the presidential elections are all bought and paid for. Even Donald Trump admitted that so much in the last, the clown that he is. Even he admitted that in the last presidential debate. So, you know, public protest is our first line of defense against all the bullshit that goes on in the world, you know, and so your presence is really important, your physical presence, because that's what counts. At any rate, I'm seeing more people are showing up. We got a sparse crowd here, you know. I thought there'd be a few more people that have shown up, but there you go. So that just gives you a little bit of an idea of who's out here, and we'll have some speakers here just in a second. And don't be afraid to log on to chat. I love it when people communicate with me who are watching. It's really important. That's what makes these live streams so interesting to me is the fact that I can communicate with people in real time. I'm glad I brought some water because I'm already starting to get hoarse. And I'm hopefully the speakers will start talking so I can shut up. So we'll be getting started here real soon. Just a little short footnote in case you didn't know. Oakland City Hall was the tallest building west of the Mississippi when it was built in 1914. It took 3 years to build, and again, at the time it was completed, it was the tallest building west of the Mississippi. Anyway, like most lefty protests, it's a little late getting started, so please stick around. Log onto the chat if you get bored, and don't forget to click on the follow button so you will be notified when I go to live stream. Anyway, since nobody's talking to me, I'm just going to ramble on. Yeah, there's been a lull around the country. Maybe it's the summertime or whatever, or maybe it's the fact that Americans are just really hard to organize. A country of individual people, individualists with that philosophy, makes it hard because Americans don't really have that class consciousness that people from Europe and oppressed peoples really understand. So it makes it doubly hard to organize or get anything going. At any rate, we'll be getting started pretty soon. I was supposed to start at 1:30, Justin. It's supposed to continue until 3:30. So we'll see what happens. At least the MC should be saying something. It's kind of disrespectful to the crowd. Myself, I always am early for things. Try to be, so I always find it's disrespectful to be late because you're assuming that the other person's time is not as valuable as yours. So, and it's not like people didn't know what time it was. Excuse me. When you, oh, here we
Good
go.
afternoon. Could I get folks to come closer? Like if you're on the back step, come to the front step. That's better. And those folks maybe come this way. I see you. We're small, but that's okay. So today is a little different than what we normally do when we gather in this space, right? Normally we're here reacting to state terror with an action or a march or a protest or a demo. I can't think of the last time I had a dress on in Oscar Grant Plaza. Um, but we really just wanted to provide some space for community to come together and hold space, not only in honor of Mike Brown, who was murdered a year ago, and that sparked a national movement of resistance to state-sponsored terror, but for all of our fallen, right? Within a month of that, we also lost Eric Garner. Um, since then, we've lost so many others. And so that's what today is about. We've got people that are set to speak and or to share, but but we also want to provide space for the community to speak and or to share, so that there's a place to hold this emotion. When I woke up this morning, I was like, I don't want to get out of bed. I don't want to get out of bed. I don't want to get out of bed. And I couldn't figure out why I didn't want to get out of bed. And then I was walking up here and I was like, oh, this is why I didn't want to get out of bed. So we want to honor that and give people space to talk about that. We're not going to be out here long, about an hour, to grieve and share, but also celebrate the spirit of resistance that's taken over the country, right? It's been popping off in Oakland, is what we do. But across the country, the ways in which people are resisting state-sponsored terror. So with that, you ready, sis? With that, I'm going to turn over to my friend, my comrade, my sister in the struggle, Word Slinger.
Thank you, Kat. In these days and times, everybody is called to do their part. As an artist, I lay my art on the altar of the struggle for equity in America. This is a piece I wrote this morning with Mike Brown in mind, but as I was getting ready to leave, my daughter, who had read it, urged me to make it more inclusive because it's not just young men of color who are being eaten by this country. It's people of color. We would rather have our children. We would rather have our sons, our daughters. We would rather have our children than to wear t-shirts that say rest in peace. We know there can be no peace in the absence of justice. No peace as long as it's just us overstanding Black Lives Matter. No peace as long as we need slogans to carry the rage over blood-soaked streets. No justice, no peace. We can't sleep. Ain't no rest in times of war. Been war since we landed on the shores. Black lives have always mattered. since the slave ship Jesus sailed. Black lives have been shattered. We are not strange fruit. We are not the stone the builder rejected. Rather, we are God's reflection perfected, standing in the face of monstrous oppression to which we've been subjected, still singing red, white, blues, heads humbly down, overpaying, never was due dues, trying to pull up bootstraps on run over shoes. We are this country's infected sore, its open wound, its festering, shameful myth of creation, locked in undeclared warfare for a fair share, for the right to live, because our lives matter. We claim the right to live in peace, to bear children who live to bear children. We declare our right to life. We declare we matter. We are awake. We are not sheep. We are not asleep. We know genocide when we see it. You cannot continue to kill us and celebrate our murderers. No peace when we plan funerals and cop killers, killer cops get book deals. No peace in the time of ghetto sweeps, soldier-like police, school-to-prison system, white privilege, structural racism, bootleg justice ain't justice. We are not sheep. We are not asleep. We would rather have our children. We would rather have our sons. We would rather have our daughters. We would rather have our children than wear t-shirts that say rest in peace. Because there ain't no peace without justice. No peace as long as it's just us who understand Black Lives Matter.
So the way we're going to do this is we're going to have people that are set to speak or perform, and then we're going to offer up space for one or two communities members if they want to say something, and then we'll go on with our scheduled folks. So is there anybody that has something that they brought to share? A story, a thought?
I do.
Come.
My name is Shalana Katsalko, and I'm glad we're gathering today because I too feel very sad for Mike Brown and his family, for all those that have succumbed to police terror. And I just want to, I've been to several meetings, one at City College where about 300 students attended, and most of them, when they were asking for solutions, they had some ideas, retraining of the police, sensitivity issues, and my heart goes with them. You know, it's easy to say, yeah, we're going to fight for the revolution, but if you're counting every day traveling on the car and the bus, and you're dark complected or white complected, like a white guy was stopped by a cop because he was on his way back from the funeral, and then the cop, when he stopped him, or not when he stopped to rest, he reached for his glass. The cop said he thought he was going for a gun. He killed him. You know, so my thing is on that, because I believe that we have to talk about how police violence affects everybody, and sometimes white people, it takes a little longer for them to understand that there's a history here. I went to a mass for Mike Brown, where his father attended, and one of the imams, the leaders of the Muslim religion here in the United States, was telling us about the history of the police, and I want to share that. He said that policing in this country started in the 1830s, when the police were used to capture runaway slaves and to protect the private plantation, the private property of the plantation owners. So no matter how you slice it, even though police do kill everybody, they don't kill a color or what class you come from, especially the poor. There is a historical basis, there is a historical root to cops going out after African Americans. So my thing is at the Republican debate that they did, somebody said, yeah, more police training, more police training. Yeah, but we got to stop that police training if it's aimed at the people historically. It's got to be changed.
That's it.
Appreciate that. So next, we're gonna have Dolores Piper come. She's a family member, a survivor of state terror. Right? We talk about the sons and the daughters that we lose, but there are mothers and fathers and wives and children that get left behind and that are stuck in the nightmare day after day.
Um, my name is Dolores Piper. I live in South San Francisco, California. And in the last 3 years, I call this the re-education of Dolores because I was one of those complacent citizens who, noticed all these things happening, but, life takes over and we go on our merry way. I raised my biracial nephew as my own son in South San Francisco from the time he was 1 until he was slaughtered by South City cops 3 years ago when he was age 15. And, you know, the problem when you hear those words that your loved one is dead and at the hands of police, it took several years for me to to like come up from this horrible fog I was in and start to fight back. And so it has been truly a re-education. I brought him to that city so that he would be safe, that he wouldn't grow up in the big city and perhaps run into major problems. And I was totally unaware of the forces that were aligned against him. And believe me, it's tough being in these suburbs where the average citizen takes the word of the police, even though they've known this youngster for 15 years. Well, too bad, but the police are right. And this has been like a stone wall to have to come up against. And it's only when I come to these gatherings and with these other families and feel this camaraderie and support that I know that I can go forward with this fight. And I'm doing it in all different ways and wherever I can and wherever I can speak to make sure that Derek gains his voice and his life and his memory are not forgotten. Thank you.
Okay, next I'm gonna bring up my sis, Aaliyah Sharif, talented performer, MC, warrior in the struggle, who never hesitates to come donate her time. That's right, donate her time and her talent and her passion and energy to this work.
Peace and blessings. Assalamu alaikum. Peace and blessings upon you all. Much love to Kat, who is always organizing things like this. Can we get the mic? Always organizing actions to bring us together to speak right, because justice is all we have. I'm going to do a couple pieces for you that was inspired by what's currently going on in these times and what the mainstream media is pushing and how they're trying to brainwash us right now, especially in the media. RIP to Mike Brown and all the victims of police terrorism. So this verse is from my song called Black Heroes. I remix Iggy's Black Widow because, of course, we aren't black widows, we black heroes. So I said, Cause I'm black, like the first man who called the Egon. I'm African, like the emperor of Ethiopia. I'm dark, like the night when it penetrates the day. Prophet Adam, peace be upon him, was made with dark clay. I won't partake in the evil ways of the junior partner, cause these bright lights, Verunia and confusion, I can't entertain. Plain Jane, raunchiness, they taking shots at us. Say it's cause God we trust, but they ain't talking about the most high. They talking about the one eye underneath the dollar sign. Lies and rumors to consumers, but the truth is every 28 hours a black man assassinated, others incarcerated. The system we live in is jaded, so we banging, we banging, we banging on the door. Government, we don't want wars or the undercovers y'all put forth. It's time to move forward, no more puppets to put forth, Obama, cause black heroes will not stand for it. Hey, we the roots of the tree, stronger than leaves, no comparing branches, baby. Yo, you're gonna see, we're gonna bring you truth. We black heroes, hey. So that's Black Heroes. So I wrote that. Thank you so much. Thank you. I wrote that in a time where, you know what I mean, you get constant news of just every day a police is killing a black person and you getting away with it. Women and children. And the Malcolm X Roots movement came up with a statistic that they brought to us where every 28 hours, now it's less than every 28 hours, a black man is killed by police or some type of vigilante. That's a problem in this country called America KKK. If you know what I'm saying, y'all feel me on that one? So this next piece is called Who Ready? And it's really to spark the revolution amongst the youth and to let them know that we can use music as a powerful weapon. We don't have to just be talking about the club or the drink or the cars or the money. We need to be uplifting people, and that's what hip hop started on. Started on giving people knowledge and feeding back the community. So can you guys put your fists in the air? I said, who ready? We was born to be ready. Put your fist up. Tell them you the real revolutionary. Cause when the time come, who ready to ride? Or is you gonna be sitting there on the sidelines? We like, who ready? We was born to be ready. Put your fist up. Tell them you the real revolutionary. Cause when the time come, who ready to ride? Or is you gonna be sitting there on the sidelines? I'm like, they want me to be ignorant, considerate, belligerent, all barbiturates, illiterate, deliberately throwing hints like a frisbee. Can I get out of here? Where the exit, please? Who next on the checklist? Those who will neglect this, choose to be fools, bring your rhetoric, real Confederate, let them lifestyles hectic, mad cause we coming through the record. Shots fired, we ain't dealing with no liars, selling us imaginary dreams that we ain't buying. The industry is full of it, and we know we ain't co-inspired with that, cause we just like it's whack, and we gonna take it back, cause we who ready? We was born to be ready. Put your fist up. Tell them you the real revolutionary, cause in the time come, who ready to ride? Or is you gonna be sitting there on the sidelines? You guys ready? Who ready? We was born to be ready. Put your fist up. Tell them you the real revolutionary. Cause when the time comes, is you ready to ride? Or is you gonna be sitting there on the sidelines? And I know you guys ain't sitting on the sidelines because you out here with the people. You out here doing the action. You out here speaking. You know what I'm saying? A sign of protest is just your appearance. If you can't say nothing about it, you could just come, be in solidarity with the people. You know what I mean? Because wrong is wrong at the end of the day, and this country has a history of doing black people wrong, and that's why we're coming together today, doing people that are even low in financial situations wrong. You know what I mean? Because it's all about the dollar bill. So this last piece I'm gonna do is called Guide, where I'm asking the Most High to guide us on the straight path and to guide us in this mess that's currently going on. So they stole it from us all. They got you out here crawling. You don't know how to call it. Waiting for someone's calling. Don't fall for DeJar's plan while he's stalling y'all all in. Why you applauding all this nonsense affecting your subconscious being black? In America, it's the fact they scared of you, shoot you in your back. Unaware if you strapped or not, they lay you flat. Call a sneak attack. Public lynching back. Pay attention to distract. Distorted facts presented, shifting your opinion so we won't react. We ain't having that. Africa, Syria, Palestine to Iraq. Don't divide, stay alive, man. We gotta stay united. Clear signs we're living in the times where genocide, homicide is viral. All behind that dollar bill, that $1 sign that kill. And it kills. Thank you so much. My name is Aaliyah Sharif. You can find me online. All these tunes are online. And again, man, just continue to speak out against wrong, because wrong is always going to be wrong, no matter how false, that they try to put the blinders on. Wrong is always going to be wrong. Truth is always going to be truth. And good always conquers evil. You know what I'm saying? Much love. Thank you, Cash.
Girls, please. Give much love for Sister Aaliyah. Always out here. Always, always, always. So I want to do another check-in. I want to remind people that we have an altar here. And so if you did respond to the call on the Facebook page and bring a picture or a rock or a stone or a flower, please feel free to put it here. You can do that at any time over the next 30 minutes or however long we remain together. Yes, brother. Something to say? Okay, I see you. Thank you. Brother came, even though he's on crutches. That's right. And then I'm going to do another check, and if there's anybody from community that would like to come up and say a couple words before we continue with the program. Okay. Okay. Well, in that case, then, I'm going to bring up the other half of this dynamic duo. Y'all give it up for Brother Ross Ceylon. Another soldier in the struggle. He don't just spit. He actually be out there putting in the work, feeding the people with us, rocking with the chairman, all the business. So here he is.
All power to the people. Now y'all gonna have to do better than that. All power to the people. All power to the people. Justice for Mike Brown. Justice for Oscar Grant. Justice for all victims of police terrorism. That's right, y'all. So 1 year ago today, our brother Mike Brown was executed by that pig Darren Wilson out there in Ferguson, Missouri, which we now know as Mike Brown Town, because it was a phenomenal response from the people. It wasn't a reaction, it was a revolutionary response. It was a rebellion, it was an uprising. Folks want to use language like riots and stuff like that. That's not quite accurate. It was really a show of resistance by the people in the hood. And it's also built on the phenomenon that happened right here in Oakland, California, back in January of 2009, where our brother Oscar Grant III was executed as well. And we rose up as a people, we organized, we mobilized, and we took to these streets. And we're still building off of that. So what we see now is this movement is building, but it's up to us to keep it movement, to be in solidarity with each other when we're standing on principles of truth, justice, freedom. It's very crucial because, just to let y'all know a little bit too, there are a lot of forces out here that want to see the people divided. There's a lot of agents that exist in this community that have infiltrated the community and are here only to disrupt and to divide and to have us looking over our shoulders and wondering who's who. I'm not going to get too much into it, but recently, we were actually faced with state oppression, where really harassment on a federal level, you know what I'm saying? So I just want to let that be noted that here in Oakland, it's a serious threat to the powers that be to stand up and speak truth. So I salute each and every one of y'all for coming out here today to have this vigil, you know what I mean? All power to the people. All power to the people. So again, my name is Ross Ceylon. I represent the POCC, Black Panther Party Cubs, chaired by Fred Hampton Jr., you know what I'm saying, in the Universal Zulu Nation. So I'm going to do some of this revolutionary hip-hop, what we call the POCC Code of Culture, where we make sure we put the positive message like you heard from the sister Aaliyah Sharif earlier, all right? So, yeah, and just to let you know, too, this is, you're going to hear a few different cases, like, there's so many victims of police terrorism that we face, you know what I'm saying? There's 500 years of this, though. 500 years of white supremacy, 500 years of this capitalism, 500 years of imperialism, and the struggle continues. So you might hear a few names in these pieces, but the names just keep going, from Sandy Bland to, you know what I'm saying, John Crawford, and man, it goes on. But we're going to keep on banging on the system, straight up. All right, right on. Cause I walk the roads of Babylon, I'll tell you what I see. Biggest gang up in the streets is police. Got no love up in their heart, hatred what they breed. These scary punk pigs even shooting down our scenes. Like Andy Lopez in the city of Santa Rosa. Walking with the toy gun, cops come, his life's over. Cause they shot the boy down like he's an enemy soldier. POCC, code of culture, yo, the people taking over. We can find a better, yo, I found a better way. Most High would never ever leave I astray. Yeah, my mind is clever enough to see past the games, redefine whatever tricks they want us to play. Cause I ain't on no funny ish, won't sell my soul for money. If the devil's on the phone, tell him leave me alone. It's a thin line between love and hate. Gotta go through hell to get that straight. Mustakim so I won't be late. Life's a dream and death we wait. Find a better, we can find a better way. Find a better, we can find a better way. Most High would never ever leave I astray. For you them in the hood, I tell them have to go straight. I said find a better, we can find a better way. Find a better, you can find a better way. Most High would never ever leave I astray. For the youth them in the hood, I tell them have to go straight. This ain't no slavery days, we making a change. Banging the bass, don't care what they say. Turning up louder, learn about power. Ride on them for Jordan Davis. This the spit they love to hate. I free my mind above the hate. Take a little minute and listen to what my mother say. Never sleep on the wisdom in the streets or the prison. You'll end up 6 feet deep under sheets cause the system is set up so foul. They get to compile all your info in the file. If you don't comply, they threaten your life. But don't start snitching now cause ancestors watching, man. They give us some options, man. Best to respect Malcolm X. And if you say the prophet's name, it's only peace and blessings. Travel east, get the lessons. South to north, now flow, no question. West side, fresh life to resurrection when the rest fly. Angels of the Most High protecting God as we uprise. So untrap your mind from the web, unlock your soul from the net. Freedom by any means, we in the field for real, the biggest threat. Find a better Oakland, we found a better way. All power to the people. Right on, right on. I just want to give a quick little heads up too. Y'all might see the shirt. This is Black August, where we recognize and celebrate, you know what I'm saying, all the freedom fighters that have existed from many, many years, for 500 years of this fight. You know what I'm saying? Recognizing especially the Dragon Comrade George Jackson, you know what I'm saying, who was assassinated by the pigs out here in San Quentin on August 21st. This past Friday, you know what I'm saying, was August 7th, which was 45 years since the revolutionary sacrifice of the man-child Jonathan Jackson, younger brother of George Jackson, who gave his life in the revolutionary struggle, taking over the Marine Courthouse. So there's a series of events going on, but we really want to encourage folks to write to political prisoners. You can look online. Mumia Abu Jamal, a crucial political prisoner right now, he has hepatitis C, and we're trying to raise funds so he can get the correct medical and legal representation to make sure they don't try to execute our brother Mumia through medical neglect, because that's what's happening. And there's political prisoners all over, and we know what it is. What's the call? What's the call? Free them all. That's right. Free Imam Jamil Al-Amin. Free all political prisoners and justice for all victims of police terrorism. People of Oakland, we'll see y'all in the streets. Revolutionary love. Power to the people. And where's my comrade Cat? She's making moves. She's organizing. You know what I'm saying? Still organizing. That's what's up. Oh yeah, and so there is a Black August event going on too. It's a conference, August 21st to the 23rd at Quilombo right here in West Oakland. Check that out. Black August conference. Salute to the Black August Organizing Committee. All power to the people.
Okay, so we'll keep this going. Next one, bring up my brother, Maniac Bay. He's gonna bring that fire as he always does. It's another soldier in the struggle. Stay in the streets, his family, revolutionary family. His queen, Amani, there, was taking the revolutionary pictures. Y'all give it up. These people giving their time and their talent and their love and their passion. And this is a hard day for everybody, particularly people that stay on the front lines, right? We all woke up heavy today, really, really heavy today. So I'm really grateful for the brothers for coming out.
First of all, I want to give honor to the Creator for allowing us to be here today. I thank him for giving us Mike Brown. I thank the Creator for giving us El Hajj Malik Shabazz, giving us Jonathan Jackson. I move in the spirit of El Hajj Malik Shabazz, the martyr. I move in the spirit of the martyrs of the movement, Huey P. Newton, George Jackson, Bunchy Carter, Chairman Fred Hampton. That's who I represent. I represent the people who are willing to put their lives on the line for the cause of freedom. How many people here represent the same thing? Raise your hand. Who's ready to die for their freedom? That's all that really matters. All that really matters is that you're willing to go as far as you're willing to go to let your enemy know we're not going to bow down anymore. Mike Brown was a martyr. Mike Brown fought against those pigs, did he not? That was a young warrior. It's a death wish if you fight against the pigs. Why? Because they got a license to kill. And we know that, don't we? Huh? Have they not made it clear that they can kill us? It don't matter what race you are. We know Black Lives Matter, and that's what this movement is about. But they got that European American, what they call a white people, that white boy that just got smoked a couple weeks ago, shot down. We here for all oppressed people. We represent the Black Panther Party, the real Black Panther Party. My name is Maniac Bay. I'm an ex-Crip. I found my way when I was taught about Bunchy Carter. I'm from Los Angeles, California. I was caught up in all that fratricide, all that stuff that you hear about in the movies, about us killing each other. The misnomer called black on black crime. That's a misnomer. Why? Because we know the conditions that are created by the enemy is what creates crime. Is that understood? Don't let them trick you into this black on black crime versus this other crap. If you put them kids in the communities that we come from, the hood, and you put them in Beverly Hills and they grow up there, and you put the kids in Beverly Hills and they grew up in South Central or they grew up in East Oakland, what you think gonna happen? Huh? All right, that's how you know the conditions is what create crime. Why are we here today? We're here to honor Mike Brown. Long live Mike Brown. Long live Mike Brown. Mike Brown is here with us today, everybody. For real. I believe that. I believe in the spirit realm, that our ancestors are with us. Y'all ever heard of the ghost dance? That's one of the dances our forefathers did to bring up the spirits of the dead warriors so we could fight. I'm a Maroon. How many of y'all know who the Maroons are? The Maroons is the people that fought against America all the way up to the day, and we still here now. These brothers with me, these is Maroons. What does that mean? That means the Native Americans, the indigenous people, with the slaves that they brought over from Africa, they linked up. And they had whites that was for freedom. I ain't anti-white. Like Malcolm X said, I'm anti-oppression. I'm anti-exploitation. However, a lot of white people happen to be part of the power structure. We don't call them white, we call them Europeans. Because white and black are colors that really don't express who we really are. But we use the terms so people can understand what we're talking about. What do we need to do to stop Mike Brown from keep happening? That's what I'm here for. I'm here to find out who's ready to get busy with stopping them from killing us. Point 7 of the 10-point program was what? We want an immediate end to what? Police brutality. We don't call it police brutality no more. We done upped the ante. What do we call it now? Police terrorism. You know who coined that phrase? My comrade, my brother, Chairman Fred Hampton, Jr. of the POCC. He was saying that term 20 years ago when people was afraid to say it. Oh, that's radical. He called it what it was. He called a spade a spade. He knew they was terrorizing us. They terrorized him. He was a victim of terrorism before he was even born. Was he not? They put the gun to his mama's stomach after they killed his daddy. He was under the threat of murder before he was even born. He didn't have his father, but he's still pushing the front line. I love that brother, and I love the fact that he changed the language. Why is that important? Language is important because words are ideas. So we say what Black Panther Party taught us. Huey P. Newton, Minister of Defense. He said power is the ability to define phenomenon. Power is the ability to define phenomenon and make it act in a desired manner. So we have to redefine things if we want to get power. We got to redefine who we are. We got to redefine the system. We can't reform this system. Give it up. Our parents tried. My mom and daddy tried to reform it. And we still got Mike Brown. We still got Eric Gardner. We still got Oscar Grant. 40 years later, after the Civil Rights Movement, what the hell is going on? That was a sellout move. Not that we sold out, but they sold us out. And they gonna sell you out if you believe that bullshit that they telling you. It ain't gonna be no way to get freedom unless we down for revolution. Uh-oh, he said the R word. But we live this. This ain't no show. These brothers up here with me been to the penitentiary for the revolution. They done put time in for the cause. So these ain't no cats that just got this uniform on so they can look good, but we want to look good too. We learned that from Huey P. Newton. He taught us how to look good and be attractive so the people can look to that, so they can check it out. Let's take care of the people. Let's serve the needs of the people and then politicize them while we're taking care of their needs. And highlight the contradictions. What are the contradictions? We're in the richest country in the world and got all these poor people homeless all over America. That's a contradiction. Go to San Francisco, one of the wealthiest cities in the world, and you go down there in the Tenderloin. What do you see? Huh?
Poverty.
Billion-dollar companies, and you got all them people down on the streets living in boxes. That's a contradiction. Let's talk about how they got their wealth. Did they do it legitimately? So what do we call them? Illegitimate capitalists. That's what they are. They capitalists, they steal it. They stole us, did they not? They stole our names, didn't they? They stole our culture. That's why we wear that fez, because that's part of our culture. We want to bring back our culture, but we're not culture nationalists. We revolutionary culture nationalists. We revolutionaries first. But you got to know who you are. You got to know who you are. Because if you don't know who you are, that's where the trick gonna come in. That's what they did to us. So study your history. Learn about the Maroons. We still here. When you read about them, they're gonna talk about the Maroons in Jamaica, the Maroons in South America, but they got a strong Maroon influence here in North America. Our forefathers was fighting. They just don't want to tell you that stuff in the history books. They don't want you to know that we was fighting. Y'all know about how they, after, what's his name? Nat Turner. Nat Turner. Y'all know what they did after Nat Turner got busy? They chopped a whole bunch of slaves' heads off and posted them on posts all over Virginia. They got streets called Negro Head Avenue because that's where they posted the heads at. They got these street names in these cities right now. The history is there. Malcolm X said history's best qualified to reward all research. Part of why we ain't free is because we don't know how we got here. We don't understand what they did to us. When you go to the doctor, what's the first thing the doctor asks you? How long you been feeling this way? They want to know the history of your ailment, of your illness. They can't fix it if they don't know the historical development of it. If we don't know how we got here, we can't fix ourselves. And all the people of lighter skin, European Americans, I'm speaking to you specifically on this point. You're going to have to sell out your people. Straight up. You're going to have to be principled. You're going to have to be about righteousness. See, the police always got their little agents out there, even if they ain't paid. You a dummy if you ain't paid. At least get paid. Obviously, some of us ain't getting paid, but they still working for the system. But you know what? They deprogrammed us so hard. How many of y'all know about Willie Lynch? Y'all know what Willie Lynch is? Willie Lynch is the man who taught these fools how to break us down from being human beings. See, black people ain't real humans right now. That's why black lives don't matter, because we're not being treated and respected as human beings. That's why Malcolm said we got to fight for human rights, not civil rights. Why do we got to fight for civil rights, but nobody else do? Every immigrant that comes to America don't have to have no civil rights amendment. Name me one. Name me one group that came to America that had to get an amendment so they could be respected as human beings. So what's the difference between them and us? Well, they know who they are. When they come to America, they got to fill out paperwork and tell America where they come from. We claim certain names that put us back into slavery. Straight up. The labels that we got, like labels on your clothes. Those labels on your clothes tell you what? Who made that, right? You got Nikes on, what's that tell you? Nike made them shoes, right? Well, if you got the names that they gave you in slavery, what does that tell them? We still own you. You still wearing our labels that we put on you. So study your history. That's very important, because that's what's going to make us unite. Before I close, I wanted to add a little twist to the Black Lives Matter movement. Black lives don't matter until we prove it. We gotta prove it by the way we demonstrate. Y'all ever heard of the phrase, put your money where your mouth is? Huh? Put your money where your mouth is. So I'm coming up with a new hashtag. I want everybody here to pull your phone out. We're coming up with another hashtag that's going to help sharpen the Black Lives Matter movement. It's like an arrow. It's got a wide back, but it's got a pointy front. So you can aim it and it can get to the target. Right? If the arrow don't got that point, it ain't going to travel straight to the target, is it? We got to get sharper. I'm saying black dollars matter. That's the hashtag. Black dollars matter. We got to make it too goddamn expensive for them to keep doing this shit to us. Because right now, they ain't paying for it. We keep buying all their stuff. Why they gonna stop doing it? Huh? 95% of our money we spend outside our community. So if we really want to stop them from doing this, we got to do like Birmingham. Y'all remember what happened in Birmingham, right? Y'all know the history? They shut it down, didn't they? Economically. They didn't get on the bus for 2 years. 2 years. They had their own Uber. They made up Uber back in Birmingham back then. Yes, they did. They said we ain't get on that bus until they treat us like human beings. So we gonna walk. We gonna pick each other up. They couldn't have made that move if they wasn't committed, though. We gotta be committed. Internet is only gonna give you so much organizing ability. And they're all on there. It's called the net. What does a net do? Get you caught in it. So don't get caught up on it. Use it for revolutionary, for organizing, but we got to get in the streets, because that's where they're killing us at. Right? Do we want to stop them from killing us or not? I'm looking right now for men and women, but I'm specifically looking for men, but I'm not a chauvinist. We need sisters too, we need women. But men were given testosterone by nature so we can protect ours. That's why we got it. If we got testosterone and we ain't using it, then we don't deserve to have it. Cut them off. I'm serious. They killing our children. They've been killing us. They taking our women and they dying in jail. Where the men at? If the sisters are mad, line up too. If you tired of them killing your kids and taking you to jail over bullshit and then you coming out dead, line up too. Because we can't do it alone. Us three up here, the couple other comrades I got here, we can't do it by ourselves. Chairman Fred can't do it by himself. We need the people. We say power to what? People. Man, we need you. And they know that if we come together, they can't stop us. That's what they know. They fear that. They fear that. Why you think they took Malcolm out? Because Malcolm was uniting everybody. Everybody was rolling with Malcolm, even if they wasn't in the Nation of Islam or they wasn't in the OAAU or the Muslim Mosque, they was rocking with Malcolm. And you want to know why the community's in shambles? Because they killed all our leaders. They took all our leaders out there and said, why y'all messed up? Ain't that messed up? I don't curse normally, but when I get the spirit, I just speak frankly. So I apologize because that's not a good example. My leader, my mentor, Malcolm X, never cursed. So if he can do it, I can. But I'm saying something serious. I appreciate the opportunity to come. I don't speak a lot because I done said a lot. I've been doing this a long time. I'm tired of talking. But for Mike Brown, I'm here. For Oscar Grant, I'm here. I'm here for all those that gave their life. The least I can do is come here and speak and maybe try to rev some people up. I thought it was going to be more people here, but it don't matter if it's 3. I done spoke with 4 people in the audience before. For me, it's just practice, just sharpening my sword. But we ready. You ready? Are you ready? Yeah. All right. I'm going to leave you with this. I'm going to read 3 points out of a 10-point program. Because we moving in the spirit of the Black Panther Party. Oh, that's right. And I do have a statement from Mike Brown's mother that I will read at the end. But it's 10 points, but I think 3 kind of fit what's going on today. Point number 7. We want an immediate end to police terrorism and murder of black people, other people of color, and all oppressed people inside the United States. Did y'all hear that? Do we all want that? All right then, act like it. Act like it. And stand on it. If we want something to end, we got to stop it by any means necessary. We believe that the racist and fascist government of the United States uses its domestic enforcement agencies to carry out its program of oppression against black people, other people of color, and poor people inside the United States. We believe it is our right, therefore, to defend ourselves against such armed forces, that all black and oppressed people should be armed for self-defense of our homes and communities against these fascist police forces. How many people agree with that? Raise your hand. All right. The second one is point 5 of the 10-point platform of the Black Panther Party. We want decent education for our people that exposes the true nature of this decadent American society. We want education that teaches us our true history and our role in this present day society. See, education is what they're doing to us to keep us ignorant. It's called miseducation. That's what they got now, the miseducation system. So we want the proper education so that our minds can be right. If the mind rules the body, we got to get the mind right so the body can follow. It's pretty simple, but it's profound. And I'm going to end with number 1, and then I'm going to read a short statement from Mike Brown's mother. Point number 1. Point number 1 summarizes the whole purpose of the Black Panther Party. How many people want the Black Panther Party back? Raise your hand. Huh? Do y'all want the Black Panther Party back? I'm not talking about the new Black Panther Party. I'm not dissing them. I'm just saying the spirit, the real behavior, actions, and formation of the Black Panther Party. We need them, don't we? If Huey was here, this wouldn't be going down like this, would it? Huh? All right then. Well, let's bring back the spirit of Huey and Bunchy and Chairman Fred and get busy. They martyrs. Martyrdom is the key. We here because of a martyr. You don't get that? That's the greatest sacrifice, to give your life for your people and for righteousness. A lot of people scared to give their life. But we gonna give it up anyway. They gunning us down. Oscar Grant was cooperating with them. Wasn't he? Huh? They killed him, so you can't say it's dangerous. It's dangerous being in America if you ain't with the system. If you ain't sold out and copped out, it's dangerous. You a threat. If you ain't rolling with them, they looking at you with that other eye like, watch them. We want freedom. We want the power to determine the destiny of our black and oppressed communities. That's what we want. We tired of the pigs being in our community, right? Well, we don't need them there, do we? But how we gonna get rid of them? We can't secure our own communities. So we got to step up. You got to get out the bed and go do your job and make your community secure. You can't just go to work or whatever you do and just hope somebody else do it. You got to take your own life and your own responsibilities in your own hand. That's what freedom is. That's what self-determination means. You determine yourself to do something. If you're serious about it, we could form self-defense groups and organize our community tomorrow. It could be done in one day if everybody was committed to it. Everybody hesitating, but we got to just be for it. We know it's right. We know we on the side of justice, right? History gonna clarify it all after it's all over. History gonna tell who was real and who wasn't. Hold this, Mo. This sister sent this message earlier today. Thank everyone. This is Mike Brown's mother, Leslie. Not Brown, I can't remember her last name, but her name is Leslie. McSpadden. Leslie McSpadden, Mike Brown's mother. We need to know her too. We know Mike Brown Sr., right? But not too many people know about Leslie. That's the mother that pushed him out, that raised him. We got to respect the mothers. We got to respect the mothers. She said, I appreciate everyone. All of you are a voice for my son, and I appreciate you keeping the conversation going. No justice, no peace, hands up toward the sky. Fly, my angel, you are free. I leave you in the words of peace. Islam, peace and love.
Okay. Everybody, let's take a collective breath together, right? Ready? Together. For all of that knowledge, we probably need a couple more, right? That'll lay some heavy stuff on us. Let's take another breath together. My favorite number is 3, the true number of balance. We're going to do one more again. Okay. Thank you, Maniac. Thank you, everybody, for being here. I just want to, we do have family members who I hope will get here in time. Some of them are coming from far away. But I do want to acknowledge that we've got representatives of family members, folks that stand with families um, after their loved ones have been stolen. So I want to acknowledge Sister Molly from the Allen Bluford Center for Justice. I'm looking for him. Brother Al Osario, he was here. Kenneth Harding Jr. There he is. Police terror, one of the ways that it manifests is as bookends of gentrification, right? So they come in to clear us out, and the gentrification happens, and then they come in to keep us out. And there's been a couple of really devastating examples of that in San Francisco in particular. One of those cases was Amilcar Lopez, who was murdered in a mission. And one of the most disturbing things that really highlights the fact about gentrification as bookends, police terror as bookends of gentrification, is that the apartment complex that he lived in is now being rented out for like $4,000 a unit. 4 racks for an apartment, right, in the mission. So we do have Sister Florencia, who's going to come speak a little bit about Amilcar. And I appreciate y'all giving the love because, folks, it's not freedom fighters or folks that are standing with families. It's not your paid gig. You don't make no money doing this work. You're not getting famous doing this work. Ain't nobody feeding you or your family doing this work. You're going to work whatever 40, 50, 60 hours a week that you work to put food on your table, and then you hit in the streets to struggle for the people, or you're taking care of the families, or you're fielding the phone calls, or you're dealing with the lawyers, or the interviews, or whatever else, right? So we really need to hold up these folks that are standing with the families and are standing in the streets. So please continue to give it up as we bring folks up here. Sister Florencia.
So thanks so much for coming out and for everyone who's spoken so far. It's so inspiring to hear everyone's story. I just wanted to speak very briefly about Amilcar Perez Lopez. I'm Florencia Rojo. I was his neighbor. I lived next door to him before he was killed. Amilcar was shot by SFPD on February 26th of this year, just earlier this year. He was a 21-year-old Guatemalan immigrant. He came over to the US when he was just 17 years old with a couple $100 in his pocket, and that was it. And he was the main financial support of his family. He had two parents, and he still has two parents and five younger siblings in a small village in Guatemala. So Amilcar did not speak English. He spoke his native language of Maya Chorti, and he also spoke Spanish. So in February, when he was shot, the community was devastated, and we all had a lot of questions. So the first thing we heard was, of course, the police narrative. They said that he had a knife, that he was trying to steal a bicycle. They said that they feared for their safety. How many times have we heard that? Too many times. They said they feared for their safety because he lunged at them with a knife and they shot him. And so we, the community, we looked at this statement with a lot of skepticism, and we started our own investigation. And we talked to neighbors, and we talked to his friends. And we learned that, I learned that he was my neighbor, and that he was shot in front of his home. And I learned that he was not trying to steal a bicycle, that he had a dispute with another person in front of his home. What we learned is that he dropped the knife before shots were fired. And we knew that the police were lying. And the family now has legal representation, and the lawyer representing, the legal team representing the family was able to conduct an independent autopsy, which concluded that he was shot in the back. He was shot from behind 6 times. It's impossible that he could have been lunging at the police with a knife. And we recently received the medical examiner's report, and guess what? It confirms everything that we already knew. He was shot from behind 6 times, and he was shot in the head. So why is this happening? Well, we know there's forces of gentrification and racism that are just permeating our communities. And we are all devastated, and it's hard for me to speak in front of people. You can probably tell this is not something I'm most comfortable with, but his family can't be here. He doesn't have brothers and sisters here in the US, in the Bay Area, speaking for him. He doesn't have parents here speaking for him because they're in Guatemala. And he came here to make a better life for himself and make a better life for them. So we're here, we're fighting for justice, we're organizing, we're trying to bring attention to this issue. So I just want you all to remember this person's name. His name was Amilcar Perez Lopez. And you can find out more at Justice for Amilcar. So thank you so much.
Thank you. I know it's hot. We're going to wrap up soon. But I want to say a couple of names. I'd like you to say them after I say them. Natasha McKenna. Yvette Henderson. Sandra Bland. Kayla Moore. I could go on, right? And so we know Oscar Grant, we know Alan Bluford, we know Eric Garner, we know our brothers that are being taken out by state terror. But we don't often talk about the women that are being murdered, not just at the hands of the police. And that statistic by MXGM isn't just about the police, it's about police, security guards, and vigilantes, right? Rakia Board. And women, black women, are facing all kinds of terror, from the sexual terrorism and assault that happens often when we're pulled over in the backs of police cars at Santa Rita Jail, inside of the prisons, all the way up to the extreme, which is murder, right? And so if we're gonna win this thing, we gotta be holding our men and our women together, right? Because they're taking all of us out. We cannot forget our sisters that are being laid down in these streets and in these jails in the back of patrol cars. I just wanted to hold a minute, right? For our sisters, for our mothers, for the life of this earth, without which we are not black women. And speaking of black women, I'd like to bring up this young woman. Yeah, they're already clapping for her. Her name's Jada. Phenomenal poet, beautiful spirit, just a joy, full of life and energy. And so I'm honored to be able to bring her up to share her work with y'all.
Blessings, everyone. Thank you all for being here. Every single person here is a part of this movement, and we all have power deeply invested within us. We are all carrying our ancestors. We all have the power to empower ourselves, raise our consciousness beyond fear. We have no fear here. We are unifying, and unity is strength. And this is the building blocks of the beloved community. So I would like to acknowledge them. Love, equity, justice, Black Lives Matter. Build beloved community. That's beautiful. Yes, very important. Thank you. So I'd like to share a few words, but first I'll share a song of mine. So we need to open our minds. Arise from this darkness by being the light. Wake up and let it be a beautiful day. Get up, brush, cut strawberries for them parfaits. Slide open windows, welcome breezes and sways. All stresses and worries away. Heartbeats for my sisters, brothers, aunties, uncles, and them cousins caught up in the struggle or locked up in jail. All sorts of them without a known person with bail. We all know how it feels to be poor. Why haven't we fixed ourselves when we broke? We all know how it feels to be tired. Why don't we stop all these fights? So accustomed to pain, forgotten any other way. Pause, stop the tick-tock. Breathe in, breathe out. Go within or go without. Scrambling for scarcity has found our bodies together while our souls are isolated. Can't even remember who we are when naked truth exposed beneath our faces. Truth be told, our living wages gather an economic basis. For that, we'd have to think outside the box, replacing to stop participating in these projects and rat races. No, we don't belong in mazes. We all know how it feels to be tired. Why don't we stop all these fights? So accustomed to pain. Today we're gonna start a new day. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Thank you for allowing me to share that. And I would just like to share a few words about what it means. So we have a choice whether to participate in the system or not. And obviously we're choosing not to. So that means we have to find our power from within ourselves to not have to depend no longer on a corrupt system. Therefore, we have to be sustainable from within. So know your neighbors. Heal yourself and your families. Plant food so we don't have to get our food from Monsanto and corrupt food industries, you know? And really arm ourselves with knowledge, with light, and protection from our ancestors, from our cleverness, and embody the change. We don't have to go look for the change and scramble outside of ourselves. We can embody that, walk it, be it every single day, and stay strong. Because this pain is also going to be our strength. So, and it has since the beginning of this country. So, thank you so much. Peace and blessings, everyone.
When I think about what I was doing at 17, 16. Wow. 16. I was a mess at 16. I sure wasn't doing nothing like that. I don't know if there's a statute on the stuff I was doing at 16. I'm going to talk a little bit because our next group that's coming up, we've got to do a little setup for them. So I just want to riff on what the sister said about planting our own food and feeding our own folks, and talk about yesterday. Onyx Organizing Committee, which is the group that was that I co-founded out of the Oscar Grant struggle. We've been feeding the people ever since, right? back to what Maniac was talking about, addressing our people's needs so that they can have the luxury to struggle. And normally we would do that with sandwiches and chips and apples and stuff. But yesterday, members of the Anti-Police Terror Project and members of Honest got together with this amazing group. Y'all heard of Planting Justice? Folks know these people? Oh my God, if you don't know who Planting Justice is, go find out who Planting Justice is. They've been around since 2008, 2009. They run sustainable food programs inside of prisons, and then they hire folks coming out of prison at $17 an hour and teach them, right, how to landscape, how to plant food, and really build careers. And so they came and donated their time and their talent yesterday to build a garden in my backyard, which will then yield hundreds of organic produce every year, which we will then feed the people with. So I'm really, 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 really excited about that. And some of the folks that were out there in the sun with me yesterday are here today. So are we ready to go? Are they good? No? Is there anybody else from the community that would like to speak? All right, let's see, what else can I riff on? Black folks, in particular, black folks going to the Black Folks Dinner tonight at Impact Hub at 6 o'clock. Anti-Police Terror Project, our general meeting, we meet every third Wednesday at 7:30 at Eastside Arts Alliance. Hope to see you all there. We're trying to get out of reactionary mode and build a replicable, sustainable model for fighting police terror. We got an action committee, a media and propaganda committee, a policy committee, first responders committee. And the First Responders Committee, those are the folks that every time the pigs kill someone, they hit the streets within 24 hours and collect the information from the people. So we know that the state's narrative is never the truth. So the APTP First Responders Committee goes out there and gets the truth. And at least on 3 occasions, we forced the state to change their narrative, right? The state has said this, we've gone out and got the information, put it out there, and all of a sudden the police are backpedaling and go, oh, well, you know, it didn't quite happen the way we said. It might be more in alignment with what those people over there said. They're a little bit sick of us, but that's okay. So you could come join those meetings. We would love to have you. Our current campaign is around Yvette Henderson. Folks know Yvette Henderson. She was a 38-year-old mother of 4, grandmother of 2. She was gunned down at the Emeryville, West Oakland border. This is really West Oakland. They just gerrymandered that shit and took it. She was murdered in West Oakland by the Emeryville Police Department. But the thing about that case in particular is that she was gunned down with an AR-15 in broad daylight. AR-15s are military assault rifles. They're the same rifles that are being utilized in Afghanistan. And so our police departments are rolling with these things just in their car. Like, it's not like they got the call about Yvette and then they went and got the AR-15. It was just kicking it in the back seat, right? So we're working on a campaign. We're starting in Emeryville, which makes it a little difficult because our base is in Oakland. So if there's folks that have been gerrymandered into Emeryville, please let us know. Because we're building base for canvassing. We're working with Surge to build a base to go push EPD to remove assault rifles from police officers' cars. And we think that's winnable, actually. Emeryville only has 40,000 people in it, so if we could build a base of like 300 people and rock into a city council meeting, they're gonna be like, okay, you know, whatever. Just go back to Oakland, please. And then we're gonna take that campaign here into Oakland. So that's our primary focus right now. Are y'all ready? My Facebook, we're on Facebook, we're Anti-Police Terror Project, or you can Onyx Organizing Committee, and you can follow me on Twitter at Cat's Commentary or APTP Action. We good? They ready? It's my fault. They needed more than we had, and I didn't know. But we have such a blessing to close us out. This is like family to me. Folks may also know I'm an actress, and so that's how I first came in contact with these folks, is on the stage. Very talented, gifted, and amazing family, y'all. Please give it up for Prosperity Movement. And then we'll let you get up out of this heat.
Blessings and now, ladies and gentlemen, how y'all doing? You can turn me down a little bit. 1, 2. I said blessings and now, ladies and gentlemen, how y'all feeling? I know this is hard. This is hard for me. I don't do too many of these because I get so emotional about it. You know, as an artist, we called on sometimes to come to the community, and what I do poetry, I do music. And I give thanks sometimes that my music can be used to inspire people to keep moving, keep pushing forward. And that's what all this music is about. It was tough to come up here today. Sister said she didn't have the right support for the sound, but we're still gonna try to give y'all something. I want to tell y'all about a concept called right over mic. And even though it seems like we're losing a lot of these battles because of the mic of this machine, mic will never win out over right. So we keep moving towards the right. We keep moving towards the light. We keep moving towards peace, prosperity, and positive, progressive, universal vibes. And that's what we all about. I got my family up here with me today, y'all. I got my wife, I got my daughters, I got my mother-in-law, my sister-in-law, my sons, my nieces, and my nephews. And for us, it's very important that we bring them so they can see what it's all about, so they can see what this music is really all about. Because this music isn't about us living high on the hog. It's about us mobilizing our people, inspiring change, and positive progressive thought. So we give thanks and praise for the family. I like to tell all my brothers and sisters out there, love your family, respect your family. See, the thing is, we got to love Mike Brown while he's here. We got to love him while they're here. We got to stop passing them by and turning our nose up at them because they look a little bit different, because they smell like a blunt, because their language is a little bit harder than what we might think, because they don't have enough money. We got to love them while they're here. It's so easy for us to love them when they're gone. I loved them. Fight for him. You didn't love him while he was here. You didn't help him while he was here. So I challenge everybody to abandon the concepts of what we think beauty and prosperity is and start looking at people for who they really are. Because you never know, because tomorrow is never promised. Because every breath of life is a new beginning. Every breath of life is a new beginning. And that's the song I'm going to do for y'all. Are we on, ladies? Even the mic ain't, even the phone ain't happening. The music. Play the song. I want to give them something. I call this one Every Breath of Life, y'all. And I wrote this one when I was having my first daughter. And there's such a connection between the ones coming in and the ones going out. So I want to give this one to y'all today. It's called Every Breath of Life. Turn me up a little bit, sir. Turn me up a little bit, sir. Turn it up, sir. Hit it back. Hit it back and turn that up. Can y'all hear that? I'm pumped right now. Hit me back. Come on, moms, hit me back. Yeah, put a hand up right here for life. If you believe in life and you love life. Put your hands together if you love life. That's what we all about, loving life. Life, a new beginning. Yeah, yeah, every breath of life, a new beginning. Say yeah, yeah, every breath of life, a new beginning. Say yeah, yeah, sand cold for bird with a shot of Henny. In the ghetto with the other poor kids drinking chocolate milk for free. I told them don't stop shooting, just stop shooting each other. Prosper well, young travelers. Every breath of life, a new beginning. Nothing worth more than a woman with a baby strapped to her back. That's infinite prosperity. Keep your heart pure, actions divine. And when Arisha comes down, it's hard to tune in at times. I up and drip when I drive, and my thoughts are of you. I can't wait to see your eyes. I can't wait to see your eyes. Every breath of life, a new beginning. Say yeah, yeah, every breath of life, a new beginning. Where y'all at? Say every breath of life, a new beginning. Come on, say every breath of life. Still running errands for the ancestors. Out the window in the ghetto yelling, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Breathing life, thanks and praise when I rise. Paper said another black man died. Too much so, we become desensitized. I'm tired of being shot down. Coming from the side of the town that we come from. Each his own, body, mind, and soul alignment, recycling lost souls, you know how it goes. Longevity comes sparing me, they tried to bury me, take away prosperity. But look what Jaja gave me, a brand new little baby, every breath of life, a new beginning. Where y'all at, say? Every breath of life, a new beginning. Where y'all at, say? Every breath of life, a new beginning. Come on, say. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Yeah, yeah. Coming up off the right situations. Virtues, patience. They say 10,000 chalices lit the night sky. Anticipation, that's how I'm feeling. Blessings on the new journey I've been given. As I journey on the most I long. I journey on the most I long. So taking a deep breath. The sage on the doorsteps. Agua de Gloria. Yeah, yeah. Open to the city of survivors. Listening to sounds of salvation. Blessings, the answers I need you've been given. It's for the fire, yeah, yeah. Every breath alive. Where y'all at, say? Every breath alive, a new beginning. Come on, say. Every breath alive, a new beginning. Where you at, say? Every breath alive, a new beginning. Come on, say. Every breath alive. Blessings are now. Can we do one more for you? We had a 5-song set for you. We only got one mic and we're going to try to make it work for you. Every breath of life, a new beginning. I want to salute all the mothers out there. Any mothers out here tonight? Any mothers out here? Any mothers and mothers out here? Anybody here who got love for their mother, make some noise for your mother. Make some noise for the mothers and keep making noise for the mothers. We're going to do this one for the warrior women. I'm going to bring my wife up, make some noise for Ocean, Bimmy, Wambi, and Jury.
This is for Mike Brown's mother. This is for all the mothers who have lost children. This is for warrior women who continue to fight. Continue to fight on behalf of their children, my children, our children. Warrior women. Are there any warrior women here today? Warrior women, I see you, I see you. I need you to stand up for this one. Warrior women. Warrior woman. Warrior woman. Warrior woman. Warrior woman. Who do you see? Does she look like me? Close your eyes. She's there inside. Stay true to the end. Stay true to the end. Stay true to the end. Warrior woman, stay true to the end. Not affected by the naysayers and the trends. Got wounds and battle scars draped through royal guard. They reach for so far. To me, it don't come hard. A true believer, true seeker. Master in the craft, she is never weaker. See your warrior woman play the sound through the speaker. Watch her regal attitude exudes with every stride. Only walk around with her head held high.
all her power, she still rise and get back on assignment. She will never let her time in before she shine a diamond. Must see all dreams come to fruition. Stand tall, never in a compromised position. And when I'm on the mic, there is no competition. Listen, warrior woman, warrior woman, warrior woman. I see you. Do you see? Does she look like me? Close your eyes. She's there inside. Stay true at the end. Stay true at the end. At the end of one. Lead a battle, I gotta test the lesson. Don't be fooled by mass deception. Promise. Baited is your mind, she's alluring all the time. Intriguing, hard to find, so much mystery in her eyes. Body of a goddess, she's more than a eyes. She's divine. Waters, child of a scholar, the untamed little daughter, never shy from winning. Every decision executed with precision. She rock our crown in silence, a boisterous, a true warrior woman. She reigns victorious. Warrior woman, warrior woman, warrior women, warrior women. I see you. Who do you see?
Roasting hot. Yay! Well, this live streamer here has to get out of the sun. I've been out here baking for the last 2 hours, so I'm going to go find a spot of shade to go sit in. I'd like to say thank you for watching. Please don't forget to hit the follow button on the Ustream page so you can receive an email update of when the next time I'll be live streaming. Thank you very much for watching, and I love everybody. This is Freeman Sullivan signing off. Everybody have a good day.